Hey there. So now this could possibly call me crazy, but you think this is a possibility? It kind it got me thinking when I saw this picture. Give me a sec to bring it up. Okay, see this? Santona Santona Tona Rosie submitted this sent this picture to to this Facebook group. Say vote Republicans and this will be our future. However, but what if this wasn't the what if this ain't the Republicans' idea, but the corporates that they get their money from? You know, say, I'll give you this much if you do this for me, that kind of thing. They prob they probably how you they probably told you think they probably told Trump to not do you think they probably told Trump to tell the people that the coronavirus happening in China is a hoax? That way it could spread. That way it could spread throughout the. That way it'll eventually find its way to the United States and spread like wildfire, getting this bad, and getting worse. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, there's probably a good reason. I think there's a good reason why. Because if you think about it we were probably through their eyes, we were probably becoming a threat. We Bernie supporters were probably becoming a threat, very big threat. That if not taken care of, Bernie could have possibly won. And that's why they did. That's why they probably did. And that's why they probably did this. What do you... I just... Don't say like I'm getting... Don't say like I'm crazy. But it's a possible theory. That the corporates saw how dangerous we were to their power, so they allowed the coronavirus to get this bad in the United States. That way we couldn't go out and protest against them, or just be helpless and watch them win. Because they knew. Because they probably knew. Because they probably knew. I'm just saying this with a grain of salt. I just don't know if this can be true, but I'm just... So, I think the title needs to be changed. Do you think the corporations committed conspiracy? To allow the... into the United States and spread like wildfire, just so that we Berniecrats, Bernie supporters, etc. Wouldn't be able to get and protest against them, or support our chosen candidate aka Bernie Sanders. Hey, this isn't easy for me with us. Hey, hey, if you're thinking this isn't easy for me with someone like Ott. Whoops. Hang on. Oh, dang it. Because also, when you think about it, why would... It just seems too coincidental. Why would Biden was in fourth place when in Iowa. Pete Buttigieg was in second. So why would he, along with Amy Klobuchar, just suddenly, both of them at the same time, drop out, and then suddenly throw their full support into Bernie? I mean, to Biden, especially when Pete doesn't have a reason to leave, since he was clearly Pete Buttigieg there was no reason for Pete Buttigieg to lead the race. Think about it. He was nearly top. He was in first place. Why would they? He was nearly in first or second place. Actually, he was in second after Nevada, probably. And then Joe Biden won South Carolina. But then why would they suddenly drop out before Super Tuesday? Just doesn't make sense. Do I have a point? Do you think I have a point? Do you think I have a point when I'm saying all this? Just please leave your comments down below. So, just feels weird, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't make sense to my doesn't make sense my doesn't make sense to my eyes. Hardly makes sense at all if you think about it. So, because I wonder what the reason was for doing this. We know they did something. We know they did something. We just need to get to the bottom of it. I still just doesn't feel right. If you want, the election system is rigged, broken, and we need to fix it. So give me a second while I get this set up for you all to see. So give me I got something for you all to see. I just need to get it set up. So please give you some time. It's a sneak peek at the Facebook group that I'm I'm gonna let you see it. Me and Zachary Taylor in. So please be patient while I get it set up. I need a few minutes. Something just don't add. I know some things just don't add up. In selection. Everyone? In the 2016 election, I didn't pay much attention. But now with the after reading this whole, but then it was only after till Russia exposed what the DNC done that I realized. And here's something else. Think about this. Iran. It's about involving Iran. They were doing well under the Iranian nuclear treaty, but then when Trump came into power, I don't know if this is right, thanks to Russia, that just all seemed to win. He just got rid of the treaty, and now they're suffering under the sanctions. And worse yet, thanks to the coronavirus, they're suffering even more because they're not even getting relief effort. They're just putting more sanctions on them. I think those guys who are doing this, I think they just see Iran in simple black and white. Iran's evil, plain and simple to them. No. That's not true. There are Iranians in there who actually like America, but love their country. So they're saying. But I don't blame them. But I don't blame the Iranian government for their hatred towards us, because we were responsible. After the 1953 coup, that put our person in power. We overthrew a democratically elected Iran just so we could favor our own interests. And they didn't. And we turned a blind eye to what their government was doing. What their government was doing to the people. We didn't care. We didn't care back then. All we cared about is trying to prevent the spread of communism. The more I opened up and realized, the more it hurts. Kennedy. Let's just hope there wasn't really an government wasn't trying to assassinate John F. Kennedy for trying to pull out of Vietnam. I hope that wasn't the case. Because if it was, whoever did this, they just committed treason. It just ain't right. It just ain't right. When you think about it. Nothing adds up. I know Nixon did some good things before he was forced out, but I know but I do know this. That Biden did run once before, but remember he was forced to drop out before when he was caught plagiarizing. I guess now, and I think he ran again. And I wonder, and all this started after Obama. I don't know why, to be honest. I don't know why all this happened, because after Obama. I guess they just didn't want. I guess they just didn't want them to lose all that they gained. It's selfish and sick. Greed. That's because greed is one of the 7 deadly sins. At least there's some kind-hearted billionaires. Why couldn't someone like Bill Gates be our president instead of Trump? Sorry, I got my words mixed up. Why couldn't that have been the case? We could just trace back the roots. We could probably find out. I know, but I do know this. Back before the day, one of their Theodore Roosevelt, a Republican, and an enemy to them, was a threat to them, and I know that. Oh yeah. William McKinley. That was the guy. They chose him as their. He was their candidate. But that all, and he chose Theodore Roosevelt as his vice president, thinking that he couldn't do anything as long as they were vice. But they were wrong. Because what happened? Because sometime later, he got struck down by a curse. On a 0 year, a president dies in office, and he got struck down by Leon Frank Glazzinks. He took away their. I don't even know how to pronounce the name. He took away. Even though he said his motive was to advance anarchism. If that's true, that is. I thought it was because he was fed up with the whole fact about the whole corporate and you know. Anyway, Leon Glon was executed. He was executed by electric chair. On the same day that I was born, but not the same year. But he did. But I think he did the. I know he did the wrong thing for the right reason. But it helped. When Theodore Roosevelt came to power, they feared him. They feared him. He went after them. As explained in the documentary, The Men Who Built America. But I'm wondering if they did this, and they're not going to take a chance. They're not taking a chance this time. Even though Biden was a runner-up. I wonder if it was possible that they told him to drop out, because if it was possible that if Pete Buttigieg, oh sorry, I was talking about Pete Buttigieg, not Biden. If it was possible that Pete Buttigieg would have possibly chose Bernie Sanders as his running mate to be won, and they couldn't risk it all happening again, and they couldn't risk the whole thing, especially if something happened and he was forced to draw. Something happened and Bernie Sanders succeeded him. I guess they couldn't risk. I guess they couldn't risk it, could they? I guess, if that's the theory anyway. And yet, something. Biden does have a record, and I thought in places where immigrants live, he would have lost. He would have lost, especially considering the fact he was responsible for the camps. Not he was responsible for the internment camps. Not Obama. And not Trump, although Trump did continue that legacy. It's true. I'm not lying, this is true. I looked at his record. He's got a lot of I hope and somehow we can make Bernie get more delegates than him. I'm starting to think we might have to do our own rigging in order to do our own rigging without his knowledge to undo what they did. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but in this case, if we're going to need Bernie to win, we might have to. I know it's wrong. But I don't know what other choice is there. Biden is probably a lesser of two Trumps. If you know it. I'm just hoping in the end we can. We need people like Bernie in office. And this is what probably defines a Bernie. A Bernie-like person anyway. Wish I could do more, like show you that what's on CNN, but I can't without fear of getting my account. Well, hang on. Just don't like the idea of doing that. And I know Bernie would disagree. But what else is there? What are the choices? Maybe we can try and do something like this and even though he's the candidate primary, maybe we could still get Biden to somehow end his campaign, or be hopeful that his medical problems Gets so bad that he'll be forced to end his camp. Forced to end it. Leaving little choice but for. We just need to, you know. You know. We need a plan. Even though he ended his campaign, we should still try to at least help him try to win. But if you got an idea, I'm all ears. But for right now, I'm gonna let you look at an image while I take care of a certain little situation. My dog's in my room whining, and he just wants me to let him out. That's all. So. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'll let you take a look at that while I'm gonna give you a few minutes to take a look at that while I take care of my dog. You see it? Bernie's a public servant who serves the people, while Joe Biden is a politician who serves the corporate. We need more people in office like Bernie Sanders. More Bernie Sanders like people. I know there's called Berniecrats, which is a form of Democrat but Bernie, but Bernie can a term combining Bernie with the Republican. So if you want, so I'm hopeful that we can find people like this. Keep people in and find people who want to run for political office, who are public servants, who are a public servant, serves the people, favors the working class, has a progressive agenda, seeks positive change, is against class privilege, fights exploitation, regulates the regulated markets, favors regulated markets, favors social safety nets, is motivated by purpose, is firm on principles, opposes corruption, favors social welfare, is loyal to ideas, has substance, has character, and he's honest. And also keep those who are already with these type of characteristics in office until their term limit is up. That's why more people have to get involved in the US political system. If not, it could very well destroy America. And also vote out those who are like Joe Biden. Let's try to kick out those who are whatever those who are like Joe Biden here, and also prevent those who are like him from coming into power. Kind of similar to Donald Trump. Just let me get this last part set up and then here we go. Okay. Now Joe Biden is a politician that serves the corporate, favors capital class, has an establishment agenda, maintains status quo, protects class privilege, and yet I still don't understand that myself. Exploitation, favors free market, minimal safety net, self-preservation, compromise principles, enables corruption. I know corruption is evil, but I don't understand what makes corrupt. What actions label you corrupt and what doesn't? If I explained that correctly. He's also loyal to donors. He's superficial. He cares about his image, and he's deceptive. If that's true, we got to keep those kind of people out of the U.S. political system. But if Bernie never doesn't become president in 2020, then who will be the question is who will be the next Bernie Sanders? That's the one thing. That's the one question I would like to get in. There's a good chance AOC could become a future Bernie Sanders. Maybe Tom Steyer too, because his ideals match and coincide with Bernie's. But knowing the corporates, they probably wouldn't allow it. They probably would rig it against them too. So let's move on. But let's move on. Okay, now remember what I said about how the United States be destroyed? So, do you know how do you remember? Here's a question for you: How did Rome fall? I'll give you 10 seconds to figure it out. Okay, here's your... Okay, for those who guessed this, you're right. Endless wars, greedy leaders, wasteful spending, dollar collapse. Does this all sound familiar? If we don't stop the corporates and all this, this could be the future of the United States. We could all... But the question is, why would the corporates do this? What is their ultimate end game? Why would they... If they want... Why would they want to risk the collapse of the the collapse of the dollar collapse and the collapse of the United States just for this? Do you think it makes sense? Does any of it make sense? If you have an answer for why do you think, I would love to hear it, and so would everyone else. But now moving right along. Right here. Here's a sneak peek at the Facebook group. Collecting evidence. A group collecting evidence of illegal activity in the 2020 election. I'm going slow so you get a good... As I was saying, I'm going to go slow so I can let you see the whole thing. I wonder if that's why no one's been leaving a comment. So give me a break, people. This is my first time doing this. Wish I could play some music for you, but I don't want to risk copyright infringement, or else something bad happen to my account. Oh, here's something.
a hold of the pre-adjusted exit polls in the Democratic primary elections. Pre-adjusted means before the research company alters the exit polls to fit the unaccountable. A website called TDMS Research.
Sorry, I had to fix something in order for you to hear this.
A website called TDMS Research has gotten a hold of the pre-adjusted exit polls in the Democratic primary election. Pre-adjusted means before the research company alters the exit polls to fit unaccountable voting machine results. And in California, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. In Texas, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. But in Massachusetts, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. However, in Vermont, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed that Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. Yet, in South Carolina, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernard Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. However, in New Hampshire, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. I wonder if you're noticing a trend! Sorry about that. Now, I've been warned by some in the election integrity community that I should not make too big a deal out of this. The exit polls are just an educated guess using a sample of the voters. And that makes total sense. Edison Research, the company that does these exit polls and has been doing exit polling for a year, totally sucks at exit polling. They're just like, what ifs, man, don't even care. By some in the election integrity community that I should in the Republican primary, where in 2016 the exit polls matched the machine results almost completely. Yes, exit polls are only incorrect on the Democratic side of the ballot. I see nothing wrong with that. And exit polls are only wrong in favor of Bernie Sanders, meaning in both 2016 and 2020, the exit polls always make it look like Bernie Sanders is going to do better than he ends up doing with the unaccountable voting machine results. I see nothing wrong with that. This means the actual human beings who walk out of the polling places, like flesh and blood, people like you and me, those people have a tendency of saying, I voted for Bernie Sanders, but the machines that have a highly secretive code that only their corporate owners are ever allowed to see. Those machines have a tendency of siding with Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton. I see nothing wrong with that. And sure enough, this exit poll evidence is bolstered by a lot of other evidence of election manipulation. For example, I covered the system California has in place in order to stop independents from being able to vote. Covered it a few episodes ago. Investigative journalist Greg Palast has actually just revealed that Bernie Sanders lost 553,000 votes this time around, 2020, to California Dem Party rules, in which they tricked independents into not voting or into taking a provisional ballot, which is similar to casting your vote on one of those made of cotton candy in the rain. But I see nothing wrong with that. And sure, Dallas County has asked to recount Super Tuesday's election results after 44 thumb drives full of votes were discovered uncounted. And those drives had 10% of the entire Dallas vote on them, but I see nothing wrong with that. Made of cotton candy. This seemingly endless array of, fucked up things, which almost definitely points toward election fraud, prompted the Gray Zone and Code Pink to demand that emergency international election observers be dispatched to the United States because we are a banana republic. And I don't just mean a fake democracy, I mean the store, too. We're boring and stupid, and most of our success is based on child labor. But, and I cannot stress this enough, really. I, of course, see nothing wrong with it. So when someone tells me, don't worry about the exit polls, they're just a guesstimation, even though our own government points to exit poll discrepancies in other countries as proof of fraud. My response to those people is, let me think about it. Yeah, go for it. You show me the hidden computer code, and then I'll stop talking about exit polls. You show me the raw data, and then I'll stop talking about exit polls. When they stop closing polling places in minority neighborhoods, stop purging minority and young people from the rolls, stop pushing provisional ballots on people, stop creating mystery apps and, well, what do you know, it doesn't work. Stop saying in court that the DNC has the right to rig the primary. And then, when you do that, then I'll stop talking about exit polls. But until that time, I see a lot wrong with this. Stop purging minority and young people from the rolls. Stop pushing provisional ballots on people. Stop creating mystery apps and, well, what do you know, it doesn't work.
Well, back to this.
Saying in court that the DNC has the right to rig the primary. And then, when you do that, then I'll stop talking. But until minority.
What's man? Oh. All right, back. I hope it didn't sound weird when the volume was on. Forgot that was on. Okay.
You show me the hidden computer code. You show me the raw data, and then I'll stop talking about exit polls. When they stop closing polling places in minority neighborhoods, stop purging minority and young people from the rolls, stop pushing provisional ballots on people, stop creating mystery apps and, well, what do you know, it doesn't work. Stop saying in court that the DNC has the right. The exit polls to fit the unaccountable voting machine results. And in California, the exit polls showed something.
Let's try this again. Okay, people, let's try this again, but this time hopefully it'll be more clear.
A website called TDMS Research has gotten a hold of the pre-adjusted exit polls in the Democratic primary elections. Pre-adjusted means before the research company alters the exit polls to fit the unaccountable voting machine results. And in California, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. In Texas, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. In Texas, a website called TDMS Research has gotten a hold of the pre-adjusted exit polls in the Democratic primary elections. Pre-adjusted means before the research company alters the exit polls to fit the unaccountable voting machine results. And in California, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. In Texas, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. But in Massachusetts, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. However, in Vermont, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed that Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. Yet, in South Carolina, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernard Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. However, in New Hampshire, the exit polls showed something interesting. They showed Bernie Sanders should have done much better than the voting machines showed. I wonder if you're noticing a trend! Sorry about that. Now, I've been warned by some in the election integrity community that I should not make too big a deal out of this. The exit polls are just an educated guess using a sample of the voters. And that makes total sense. Edison Research, the company that does these exit polls and has been doing exit polling for years, just totally sucks at exit polling. They're just like, what ifs, man, don't even care. Except in the Republican primary, where in 2016, the exit polls matched the machine results almost completely. Yes, exit polls are only incorrect on the Democratic side of the ballot. I see nothing wrong with that. And exit polls are only wrong in favor of Bernie Sanders, meaning in both 2016 and 2020, the exit polls always make it look like Bernie Sanders is going to do better than he ends up doing with the unaccountable voting machine results. I see nothing wrong with that. This means the actual human beings who walk out of the polling places, like flesh and blood, people like you and me, those people have a tendency of saying, I voted for Bernie Sanders. But the machines that have a highly secretive code that only their corporate owners are ever allowed to see, those machines have a tendency of siding with Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton. I see nothing wrong with that. And sure enough, this exit poll evidence is bolstered by a lot of other evidence of election manipulation. For example, I covered the system California has in place in order to stop independents from being able to vote. Covered it a few episodes ago. Investigative journalist Greg Palast has actually just revealed that Bernie Sanders lost 553,000 votes this time around, 2020, to California Dem Party rules, in which they tricked independents into not voting or into taking a provisional ballot, which is similar to casting your vote on one of those Ouija boards made of cotton candy in the rain. But I see nothing wrong with that. And sure, Dallas County has asked to recount Super Tuesday's election results after 44 thumb drives full of votes were discovered uncounted. And those drives had 10% of the entire Dallas vote on them. But I see nothing wrong with that. This seemingly endless array of, fucked upness which almost definitely points toward election fraud, prompted the Gray Zone and Code Pink to demand that emergency international election observers be dispatched to the United States because we are a banana republic. And I don't just mean a fake democracy, I mean the store, too. We're boring and stupid, and most of our success is based on child labor. Just like the store. But, and I cannot stress this enough, really, I, of course, see nothing wrong with that. So when someone tells me, don't worry about the exit polls, they're just a guesstimation, even though our own government points to exit poll discrepancies in other countries as proof of fraud, my response to those people is, let me think about it. Yeah, go fuck yourself. You show me the hidden computer code, and then I'll stop talking about exit polls. You show me the raw data, and then I'll stop talking about exit polls. When they stop closing polling places in minority neighborhoods, stop purging minority and young people from the rolls, stop pushing provisional ballots on people, stop creating mystery apps and, well, what do you know, it doesn't work. Stop saying in court that the DNC has the right to rig the primary. And then, when you do that, then I'll stop talking about exit polls. But until that time, I see a lot wrong with this.
Don't remind me of this. Okay, now that that's taken care of, let's get back to this. Now. You see what I mean? Why would they suddenly switch? Why would they suddenly abandon Pete Buttigieg, tell him to drop out, and then switch to Joe Biden? Makes no sense. What's the reason behind it? It's almost over. Just be patient. Okay, it's over. So if you want to join the group. Oh. Doggone it. Just go up here. If you're in this group. See? I left a link down below. I left a link to it. So, I want to thank you for watching this live stream, and hopefully, if you took important, I know some stuff I said was important, and some stuff was just not important, but take note of the important stuff I just talked to you about. Alright, and please share this with us, and if you want, you can start either a watch party or or download this video, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook, because he looks my fun away. And to share it, I won't mind. But tell that to the guy. But tell that to the copyright guys. I won't mind if share it, especially the highlight sections. And stay safe. And also stay safe. Also stay safe for the coronavirus. Let's just hope someone can find. I wish I can open a GoFundMe page for who. You know, so they can get the, because Trump's not providing them the money. We should try and provide it, give it to them ourselves. If you know what I mean. So, thanks for watching. Let me say that this is, let me say that this is Jared Bartel, signing off. For the record, this is what I was talking about right here. This woman. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what she meant. I don't know what he means by "Don't be surprised that they united their powers soon." By they, I don't know by what they mean by who. And just that. All right. Till next. All right. This is your. All right. Until next time. This is Jeffrey Bartol. Signing off.